Hey, you're about to play Get Stacked, so I'm here to explain the rules to you. First, some quick prep. Grab a pen and a smartphone with a stopwatch feature. Don't have those? No problem. You can just skip the mini games that need them. Setting up is pretty easy. Shuffle the mini game deck and place it on the board. Grab the rank medals corresponding to the number of players you have. For example, in a 4-player game, you'll have the first, second, third, and fourth rank medals. Place those on the board. Shuffle the treasure cards, toss them into the treasure bag, and slap that on the game board like it owes you some money. Then shuffle and place the action cards, pour out the power nap tokens, and shuffle and place the monster deck in their corresponding areas. Then, take the top 8 monsters of the monster deck and flip them face up into the monster zone. Finally, each player should pick a champion, load it into their card tray, and draw 2 action cards. Boom! You're ready to play. The game runs for a set number of rounds based on the number of players you have. Reference the table below. Each round has 3 phases. Phase 1, get ranked. Phase 2, get stacked. And Phase 3, get attacked. After playing through all 3 phases, you'll begin a new round by starting at Phase 1. Now let's dive into each phase. Phase 1, get ranked. Prove your worth in a minigame and claim your rank. In Phase 1, get ranked, there are 2 player roles. Each round, 1 player will be the referee. The referee's job is to host/officiate the minigame. The rest of the players will be minigame participants. The job of the participants is to try and obliterate each other and earn the best ranking. Pick the first referee based on whoever's wearing the most items of clothing. Referee duties rotate each round, so by the end of the game, everyone will have been the referee an equal amount of times. The referee does not participate in the minigame, but is instead acting as a host/officiator. Here are some guidelines for how the referee can operate. While the referee does not participate in the minigame, they will still get a ranking by randomly or blindly selecting a rank medal. An easy way to do this is flipping all the rank medals upside down, mixing them up, and having the referee select one. So for example, if the referee picks the second place medal in a 4-player game, the other players will be duking it out for first, third, and fourth place. After receiving a ranking, the referee will draw the top card of the minigame deck. The minigame card lists the materials you'll need to play, a quick statement on how to win, the type of minigame it is, and whether or not the minigame can be played in a 2-player game. Most importantly, it includes the rules and instructions on how to play the minigame, which the referee will read out loud like a game show host on Too Much Caffeine. When all the minigame participants understand the rules, or at least pretend to, the minigame can begin. Keep playing until each participant has a unique rank from first to last. Minigames are the heart of Get Stacked, so let's make sure everyone's on the same page before the inevitable chaos ensues. There are 3 types of minigames, and knowing how they work will help keep things fair. Firstly, there's least attempt games. Think of these as races. Players take as many turns as they need to complete a task. Rankings are based on how many turns it took them to finish. In elimination minigames, you're out the second you fail a task. Rankings are determined by survival. Last player standing wins. Heads up, not everyone gets an equal number of turns in this game type, so don't get attached to your first turn. It might also be your last. Lastly, in best result minigames, players attempt the same task one time and rankings are based on their performance. You can think of these like shooting a single arrow at a target. You only get one shot, and whoever's closest to the bullseye wins. Here's some answers to common scenarios you might find yourself in. What if there's a tie? There are no ties in Get Stacked. If 2 or more players end up with the same result, they must duke it out in a tiebreaker. What if you're stuck on a minigame? The referee can tweak the rules to keep things moving, or you can just skip the game entirely. No harm, no foul. Alternatively, if the players want to settle things quickly, have the remaining participants roll 3 dice and rank them from highest to lowest. Once everyone has their ranking, players grab the rank medal that matches their placement. Remember, the referee already has a rank medal, so the participants will be picking from whatever's left. Rank medals help keep track of turn order for phases 2 and 3. They also double as handy little trophies to wave around and celebrate. Phase 2, get stacked. Gear up by choosing treasures based on your rank. To start Phase 2, randomly draw 1 treasure card for each player in the game and lay them out on the table. Each treasure card has a category and a power level. There are 7 categories and power levels are 1 through 5. Both of these attributes will help you defeat monsters. So try and keep an eye on what monsters you want to defeat while selecting your treasure. One by one, each player gets to pick 1 treasure card following the order of their rank medals. First place picks first, second place picks second, and so on. Last place doesn't really have a choice and has to select whatever's left. Sorry. To equip treasures, simply stack the treasure card directly onto your champion and on top of existing treasures. Keep in mind that your champion can only wear one treasure per category at a time. So if you snag or end up with a treasure that you're already rocking, you've got two options. First, if your new treasure has a greater power level, you can equip the new treasure by stacking it on top of your champion and discarding the old treasure. Keep the stacking order of all other treasures the same though. If your new treasure has a lower power level and you don't want to equip it, you can select and discard the new treasure outright. Unfortunately, you do not get to pick a replacement treasure. In games with 7 or 8 players, the treasure pile might run dry during the final rounds. When that happens, you can begin to recycle discarded treasures. Once all treasure cards are gone, you can skip ahead to Phase 3 without the Get Stacked phase. Phase 3, Get Attacked. Fight monsters, draw action cards, or even take a nap. In Phase 3, each player will take a turn, still in the same order as the rank medals. On your turn, you will choose to do one of the following 4 actions. Draw an action card, take a power nap, fight a face-up monster, or fight a surprise monster. If you're feeling like you want to shake things up, draw an action card. These single-use cards can help you grab treasures, slay monsters, or sabotage your friends. Action cards can be played anytime, even during someone else's turn. Playing an action card does not count as taking your turn, so play as many as you want. In the case that multiple action cards are played at the same time, the last card played will take priority, but all cards will be resolved. A true warrior knows when it's time to lay the smack down or just lay their head down and take a rest. Grab a power nap token and boost your power level by +2. Power nap tokens are a permanent boost and stick with you for the rest of the game, unless someone steals them. Here's a quick example. If this was your character, you would have a treasure power level of 8. On your turn, if you take a power nap, that would bring your total champion power level to 10. Woohoo! Options C and D both revolve around monster fighting, so let's do a quick look at monsters and how to defeat them. At the top of each monster card is a star value. Defeating monsters and collecting these stars is how you win the game. There are 2 ways to defeat a monster. Some monsters will have treasure weakness icons at the bottom. Defeat these monsters by having the required treasure category stacked on your champion. Other monsters will have a power level at the bottom of the card. Defeat these monsters by having a total champion power level greater than or equal to the monsters. You can choose to fight a face-up monster anytime you have the required power level or treasures stacked. For example, if this was your character, and these were the face-up monsters, based on your power level of 10, you could fight and defeat the Prison Gnome and Big Chup. However, Mini Meteoroid and Dark Soul Paladin are just too strong, so you better stay clear. Based on your armor stack of a helmet and aura, you could choose to fight and defeat Radioactive Jim and the bottom half of a zombie. You can't fight Omnipotence because you're missing a shirt, pants, and weapon. And the Duende can only be defeated by someone wearing shoes. After defeating the monster you select, simply remove the monster card and place it by your side. Defeated monsters are not replaced until the start of the next round. This means that players with later turns might have less face-up monsters to choose from. If you're feeling lucky and aren't too stoked about the face-up monsters, you can always choose to fight a surprise monster. Do this by flipping the top monster of the monster deck over. If you could beat the monster, congratulations, it's yours. If you can't, simply discard the monster to the bottom of the deck. Something to note is that there are some action cards, and when they get played, they might change your ability to be able to defeat a monster. If someone plays one of these against you, and the monster you selected can't be defeated, then you have to discard that monster, and your turn is over. You don't get to take another action or fight a different monster, which is pretty savage. So plan your revenge accordingly. After each player finishes their turn, you can start a new round, beginning from Phase 1. To do this, return all the rank medals, repopulate the monster zone, and rotate the referee responsibilities to the player clockwise of the current referee. Keep following this pattern until all rounds have been played and every player has been the referee an equal amount of times. At this point, the game is over. Determining the winner is pretty simple. Every player will add the stars from their defeated monsters. So for example, if you had defeated these 3 monsters, your final score would be 11 stars. Whoever has the most total stars is the winner. I bet that feels like a big warm hug. If there happens to be a tie at the end of the game, those players will compete in one final mini game against each other.